Good morning, baseball fans, and welcome back to Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. Do not be fooled by that fancy name. It's just me and some friends talking about baseball cards. And today, it's just me talking about some cards that recently returned to me from SGC. I've been sitting on this box for about 2 weeks waiting to do the video, but excited to open this. As you can see, I already did open it just to make it a little easier. And so what we have here is a 23 card SGC return. I sent this in and got it back in about 21 days door to door, which is good. Not as fast as, save those rubber bands, not as fast as previous submissions, but still pretty good. I know SGC recently was purchased by Collectors Inc., so they're now step brothers to PSA, but so far so good. They seem to still be the same place. So I'm going to go through this. Here's the invoice, card by card. Talk a little bit about the cards as I do. I did actually, oh, there it is. They double print. Did actually predict the grades as I normally do, and I have that there, but I'll go back to me and show the cards. I've gotten some comments on my previous SGC reveals that maybe spend less time staring at a sheet of my handwriting and more time looking at some beautiful baseball cards. So first card is Jack Quinn. This is the T205, right? Yeah, T205 Piedmont Jack Quinn. 1.5. I predicted 1 to 2. It's got a crease right about here, and it's got some, as you can see, some whitening to the gold border. But Jack Quinn is a player that I collect, and I will be doing a Jack Quinn show pretty soon. I don't have a guest for it. If anybody is a Jack Quinn collector and they want to be on the show, all they got to do is send me an email. It's in the description of the channel. Amazing pitcher. Pitched until he was 45 or 46 years old, and has a great story. He's in both the T206 and the 1933 Gaudy as a player. He's the only active player to be in both sets. So anyway, I got this one. I got about 10 other Quinn cards. So when I went to the Philly show, I did a video that is the most popular video in the history of this channel. And one of the cards I picked up was this Wally Pipp. It's the 515, I believe. Yeah, the W515 number 1, -1. I'm sorry. Wally Pipp was, of course, the first baseman who was replaced by Lou Gehrig, and Wally Pipp never played for the Yankees again. Wally Pipp was an outstanding player and was, in fact, one of the players in the 1921 Yankees that went to the World Series. So it's a 1. It's fair. It's hand cut. There's the border over here is cut kind of at a slant, so the 1 is a perfectly fair grade. But nice to have this beautiful card in a slab. Also from the Philly show, bought this, the Musil brothers. Also got a 1. It's got some schmutz on the back. It's got hand cut, so the 1 is a very fair grade. I thought this might do a little bit better than the Pipp, maybe 1.5, but the 1 is fine. Now this one is a biggie. This is it says 1927 York Caramels Type 2. Interestingly enough, on the back, it says best catcher in the league, 1928. So the Prewar card website, which I will link to, goes over why these cards are, the Type 2 is 1928. That being as it may, there are 2 of these cards graded by SGC. So this is a Pop 2 Hall of Fame catcher Gabby Hartnett from the Cubs. The York Caramels Type 2, a little bit harder, not actually not a little bit, a lot harder to find than the Type 1. I have a couple of Type 1s, but this is my only Type 2, and this is in fact, like I said, one of only 2 graded by SGC of this particular card. So very happy to have this one. I bought this raw in a Sterling auction a couple months ago. It is a 1 because it's got some creasing here and here. So really happy to have this one. This will be a forever card. So in the, I'm taking out 3 at once. In the Brockelman auction a couple months ago, I bought a collection of 1939 Cincinnati Reds cards. This is the 711 W711-1, I believe. And so I got 3 of them. The problem with the Derringer is that it was in an album, and the same thing with Frank McCormick was in an album. So this card, amazing card. I love this with the pitching motion. He's I mean, it reminds me a little bit of the Warren Spahn spick and span card that I have, but this is a absolutely terrific card of Paul Derringer, not a Hall of Famer, but a outstanding pitcher in the 1930s. Of course, the 39 Cincinnati Reds won the pennant, and the 1940 Cincinnati Reds won the World Series with Derringer as one of their best pitchers. Frank McCormick, who was on the 48 Braves, and I have a nice collection of McCormick, all of his play balls, and this now, the 39 Cincinnati Reds issue 1.5, which is nice because it's got, as you can see, some residue from having been in an album on the back. And this one is is a 4.5, which is a very high grade for these cards. This one was apparently not in an album or removed successfully with no residue whatsoever. This is, of course, Johnny Vandermeer, who pitched 2 no-hitters in a row and will forever be remembered that way. So happy with the grades on the 39 Cincinnati Reds issue. Next card is, actually, I'll do 2 of them in a row. This is 39 Play Ball Red Roughing. 3 is a very fair grade on this. I actually thought it was going to get a 2. And then Arndt Juergens. Why do I have an Arndt Juergens card in a slab? Because, well, I am collecting the 1939 Play Ball Yankees team cards, and I'm down to only 3. And one of those, of course, is DiMaggio, the Sticky, and the other is the guy who's number 1 in the set, whose name I can't remember right now. So that was a nice little addition to that part of my collection. This is a card that was given to me as a random act of kindness by one of my Twitter friends. And it is a 1947 tip-top bread of Nelson Potter. He's on the Browns, but in 1948 he would be released by the Browns, picked up by the Braves, and pitch in the World Series for the 1948 Boston Braves. He knew Billy Southworth from having been managed by him before, and so Potter, as a member of the Browns, this is a free card for me, and for $15 I got a beautiful slab of tip-top bread. It's my only tip-top bread card also. Didn't have this card for some reason. I've owned copies in the past. They have left my collection for a variety of reasons. This is a beautifully centered 1950 second year Roy Campanella. Go back and watch the Roy Campanella show with Stacy from my channel. It's an excellent show. Has a really slight little crease in here that you have to see under the right light, and that's why it's a 3 instead of a higher grade. Again, building the 53 Bowman set. These were cards in slabs. These were cards in my raw complete set of this. Occasionally, I'll take out the high grade ones. 4.5 is a little low on this. I thought it was going to be higher. 5.5 is nice on this one. This is Marty Marion, and I'll talk about Marion in a second. I'll leave that one up there. And then Roy McMillan got a 4.5. So 3 more slabs for that. I am sort of collecting the 1954 Red Heart dog food. And this is Bob Lemon, of course, in the red version of this set. Bob Lemon, Hall of Famer for the Indians. This is 1954, which was one of the best years in Indians history. 2 is a fair grade. I got this for pennies, so happy to have it. 1970 Kellogg's. Cracked a pack. sold a few of them, but the ones that were the highest grade, I decided to grade this Joe Morgan Hall of Famer 8.5. This is Denny McLain in an 8. Those two are currently going to be for sale. I have them on my slabs. They're going to go on my eBay account soon. And this one, whoops, Don Mincher. I'm keeping this one because I collect Seattle Pilots, and 1970 Seattle Pilots, Kellogg's, I think. I know Tommy Harper has a card and Mincher has a card. I'm not sure if there are any other pilots in this set, but 7.5. I posted this picture of this to the Seattle Pilots Facebook group that I'm a member of, and people went wild. So good to see Don Mincher in a high grade. So this is Dan's vintage baseball PC. Why am I grading cards from the 80s? Well, because Reggie Jackson played in the 1980s. This is the Topps 1983 Reggie. This is the OPG 1983 Reggie. And kind of building Reggie, not aggressively, but as they come in, I get them. And these two came fresh out of packs to me. So I figured they had a chance at the 7 is a little low. I thought these were going to be like 8 and 9s, but we'll see what my grade. In a few seconds, we'll see what my grades were. Again, it's a vintage channel. Why you're grading an 80s card came to me for free. I thought it had a chance at the 10, 9 at the worst. 8's a little lower than I expected, but I saw a video from Leighton Sheldon a few months ago where he talked about slabs of Hall of Famers of the 80s cards are not often found because people just don't grade 80s cards. So if you find a Paul Molitor collector who wants this beautiful 1984 Fleer, great card, by the way, in a slab at a high grade, well, here it is. So I figure that's going to go on my eBay page. Also, a couple of cards left. This one also came to me free in an ISA 9. I figured ISA 9 was probably going to translate to SGC 8 or, as here, an 8.5. So beautiful Jordan card from 1992. This is on my eBay. As you know, I don't collect modern or basketball, with exceptions. But this is beautiful Jordan card in 8.5. Happy to have it. So the last one is a card that was I purchased from the Sterling auction, and I think I got it cheap because it was in an old SGC green label, and the green label was beat up. The slab had, like, it wasn't cracked, but it had, like, scuffs on it and stuff, so it didn't look good. So I figured, all right, let me get this card. I got it underpriced, and get it into a new SGC holder. And so this is the wow, I love this card. This is the T207 Jack Barry. It is a recruit back. This card, I known the card, but I was called to the attention of the beauty of this by Doug Kahn and Alex from Alex's Bowman 53, and of course Doug Kahn is Decon's Cardboard, I believe it's called. I'll link to both their channels below. They did a live about, I don't know, maybe August or September, and this card came up, and I think it might be the only vertical card, horizontal card in the T207 set, but absolutely beautiful. Jack Barry also is a historically relevant player. He was the shortstop on the dead ball era Philadelphia A's that won several World Series, and then he was traded to Boston where he won a couple more World Series. Jack Barry went on to become the head baseball coach at, I believe, Holy Cross College in Worcester, Mass. And he coached there for decades. And they call him the Newt Rockne of college baseball because he is the groundbreaking and historically most important college coach of baseball of all time. And Jack Barry is in some sort of Massachusetts Sports Hall of Fame, something like that. I may do a show on Jack Barry. Very interesting figure, obviously. But this card is just fantastic. It's like a dance pose. Sort of reminds me of the Derringer from before. But anyway, this was in SGC3 old holder that was all scuffed up, and now it's in a beautiful new holder. So thanks to that. So let's pull up grade. So I was not really off on anything here, pretty much in the ballpark for everyone, except for, as you could see, when it came to the two Reggies, I thought 8 or 9. One of them got a 7. Molitor said 8 or 9. It got an 8. The Jordan, like I said, 8 or 9, got an 8.5. The Vandermeer was my best, was the biggest pop from what I had expected. Where's the Vandermeer? Vandermeer, I thought 1 to 2, and it got a 4.5. So that was beautiful. Red Roughing 2 to 3, it got a 3. Our Jorgens 1 to 2, it got a 2. Nelson Potter, I thought might be an A or a 1, it got a 1. So as you can see, I won't spend much time looking at that. I'm getting pretty good at predicting SGC grades. Wanted to bring up this Marty Marion. As you can see here, he is the manager for the St. Louis Browns. He was a player for the St. Louis Cardinals for many years. In fact, won an MVP, and I believe it was 44. And so Marty Marion's going to be subject, a part of the subject of a show that I'm going to be doing with Mitchell, White Sox card collector. I will link to that below. That's going to be on, we're recording it on Thursday. I'm not sure yet if it's live or going to be recorded, but it'll be up in the next few days. I'll link to Mitchell's account. So good thing I opened the box, because this Marty Marion card will be shown on Mitchell's channel also. Anyway, so that's my SGC reveal. Thanks for tuning in. We have a show this coming Saturday. It is not going to be the Phil Rizzuto show because of a scheduling conflict. I expect to record the Phil Rizzuto show the following Saturday. But we have a great guest for Saturday and a lot of guests coming up. So pretty happy with the channel these days, with the people coming out. Subscriptions are going way up. My appearance on Mike Moynihan's Bench Clear Media, the Golden Age of Cardboard, was really nice, because not only was it a great time, and Mike was a wonderful host, but I got what's called the baseball collector bump. Picked up about 50 new subs as a result of that appearance. So thanks, Mike. And thanks to you all. We'll see you on Saturday.